All right, only keeping with my collection of Doctor Who, so I don't have all the episodes of Pertwee's run, and so we're missing a few here. So we're jumping ahead to the Monster of Peladon, and this is a bit of a sequel to the Curse of Peladon. And you remember he went there with Joe Grant, and they had the king there, and what was it? The Federation. It's not that Federation, but you're trying to get a treaty with them and whatnot. And there was all this castle intrigue going on there and all that. And and they left it in the hands of the king, and the king was in love with Joe and wanted her to stay, but she turned him down because, well, he just wasn't an environmentalist hippie guy who reminded her of a young doctor. So he not what she wanted. So the doctor split. And then now, I don't know, he decided, hey, let's see what's going on. So it's some 50 years later. And, the king's dead, and now his daughter, Lyra, something like that. She's the queen. She's running the show, and then she has, once again, the Chancellor Orton. He wasn't the same guy, right? No, it's 50 years later. He couldn't be. So, but it's the same type of position. And it already looks like, he's up to no good, but it's the same plot. It's the same story, really, but it's just the chairs have shifted around. And I don't know if the set looks pretty similar. I'm too lazy to check it out, but it might be the exact same set that they used for this one. Certainly the footage of the castle's the same. But he managed to land the TARDIS a little better, even though he lost it. Of course, because you got to have that in there, because more times than not, you just get back to the TARDIS and get out of there. So you got to do stuff like that. It's basically the same plot, the same things sort of going on. Yeah, you've got some sort of problem with the mining going on there. The miners, we didn't see them in the last, I don't believe, in the last episode. The miners show up, and they're put upon, and they're mad, and they're wanting to strike or what have you. And the aristocrats just, get back to work, you pissants, and all this sort of things going on. Meanwhile, the Federation, hey, we need you to mine that, not dilithium crystals, but what was it, triskelate or triskelate, something like that. And they need it to fuel the Federation or whatever. Meanwhile, they've got their enemies in Galaxy 5 that wants to, cause a schism here and probably get the triskillet or whatever themselves. And so that's the origins of the plot. So who's a traitor and who's running for those guys when pretending not to be, and what have you. And so it's just a matter of time to figure out. Well, it's 6 episodes, so you've got time to do it. Meanwhile, this human guy, Eckersley or whatever, he's introduced a sonic laser, they call it, but it's a lot of the weapons are sonic. Even the Ice Warriors show up again, of course. They were in the last one. And they show their sonic weapons, which sort of twist your guts inside out, I guess, when they shoot you with it. They fall over. When you think about it, it must be a really painful death. But anyway, meanwhile, Agador, their god, which is actually some dumb animal that lives in a pit. Once again, they fall for the holographic apparition of him, but now this one is killing them, and it just apparently has a phaser in its nose, and once you get hit by it, you disintegrate. And so that's going around, but it's 50 years later, so I guess they're ready to fall for that old trick. Meanwhile, the green giant eyeball creature, Alpha Centauri, it's there, but hey, who's to say what aliens from Alpha Centauri look like, So it's a he, but it sounds like a she, but hey, I don't know. It's mostly a giant green eyeball with centipede arms, so who's to say? But he's there, and then of course Sarah is here. This is her first trip to the place, and she's not all that impressed, and who can blame her? And she mostly hangs out with this creature who looks like it belonged on Sesame Street or something. but what are you going to do? Well, finally we find out that Eckersley is a trader, and he's working to make money on the deal in the Help Out Galaxy 5. The Ice Warriors are now back to being bad guys. They turned out to be the good guys in the last one, but this time they're a breakaway group from the normal government of Mars at the time, and this led by Commander, I don't know, Axar or Axier, something like that. And anyway, he wants them to go back to the good old days of just killing and stealing. So he's in on the plot too. And, the Doctor has to outfox him, and of course, he does. He gets control of the Agador projection deal and turns it on the Ice Warriors, and wins the day. Almost gets killed himself, but of course, he just puts himself in a trance to survive that, and, he's good. But the real Agador shows up and kills Exerly, but not before Exerly, or Eckersley, whatever his name was, shoots the beast, and it dies. So for Peladon, God is dead, and they're, I don't know, I guess they had a Agador barbecue after that. I don't know. But then it's all's well. The Queen, this time, instead of the King asking Joe, I guess if it was modern Who, then the Queen would ask Sarah to be her wife, but instead she asked the Doctor to stay. Oh boy, that's no. He turns it down because the Doctor doesn't like to work. So instead, the minor leader becomes the new chancellor or what have you. So there you go. Everything's great. And the Doctor will never go back, because why would you? But it is an interesting thing that it fits in with one of these ideas about, even with other shows as well, but certainly with Doctor Who, where he goes to this place and that. And then, hey, I wonder how it turned out if he'd ever go back. Well, here's the time he did. And maybe that's why he never goes back to most of these places, because it's just going to go back to crap sooner or later. So, look, I saved the day here. I did it twice. That's more than most people get. So you're done, all right? You're going to have to figure this out yourself. So, yeah. But basically, a repeat of the first one, but the musical chairs were swapped around, and so but that's pretty much it. It's a repeat of the first one, and but it's entertaining. It worked out all right, but it is the second to last episode for the 13th Doctor, so that leaves us only his final episode, Planet of the Spiders, which was not the one intended to be his final one, but with the death of Roger Delgado, they couldn't do this final battle between the Doctor and the Master, which apparently within that plot they were going to reveal that the Master was his brother. But they just didn't do it. Because of the sad circumstances of Delgado's passing, and which is largely seen as one of the factors in Pertwee deciding to go ahead and just walk away from the part at this point. So up to this point, he had been the longest serving Doctor. Well, that was about to change, but we'll get there when we get there. So there you go. Thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. Most notably, at IndiePlanet.com, you can pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night, yes, based on the character from my audio plays. And now you can see him in not live action, but colorful action within the pages of his comic book, so do check that out. You can catch the Mr. Nailsin Show over at RadioMisfits.com, new episodes every Saturday, and you can also watch my videos over at BitChute. Yes, that's right, the Mr. Nailsin channel at BitChute.com.